Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Shakiel Mahjouri. You can call me Shaq here for Fansided MMA, and we have a sweet, sweet interview today. Sarah Cheesecake Morris is with us. Sarah, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's been a while since we've seen each other. So you moved to Vegas. What prompted the big change? I know we talked a little bit about it, but you were out in Kelowna for the longest time.
Yeah, I was having some issues with my old gym and I broke my foot and I lost my last fight
Yeah.
and shit wasn't really going my way. So, I decided to move out here. I've been wanting to live out here for a while now since they opened up the UFC Performance Institute. There's just so much more to offer me here that helps me with my career rather
hmm
than doing it all on my own. I have a lot more support here.
And you are with Extreme Couture MMA now, right?
Yes, I
How's
am.
that been? There's some serious training partners over there.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. I like look forward to training every day. I love my coach. I love my training partners. I love showing up there. I'm always learning. Yeah, I couldn't say anything. I don't know. It's just like the best. Yeah, I love it there.
Now, I have a theory. I'm going to explore it here. Because I guess no one here would know, but back when I was a student in a journalism program, I actually came down to Kelowna to do a documentary on you as my big final project. When did things start? I guess when did you realize you weren't happy at Toshido MMA?
It was probably going on for a few years. I definitely wasn't in the headspace even with that interview or documentary that I did
I
with.
recall it was a lot of work to get you to open up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I didn't have the support there that I have
hmm
here. I didn't have the encouragement and the positive energy around me that I have here, and it really makes a difference. Like I'm so happy here, and there, it was very stressful
Yeah.
and a lot of negativity. So here it's like complete opposite, and I'm just like I'm really excited to fight again. I'm excited to train. I'm I'm much more motivated here.
How nice is it having that performance institute to walk away?
It's so nice.
Yeah.
Like I have a nutritionist, Charles. He's like great. He checks my weight every week and then adjusts my food orders. He orders all my food for me, so I don't have to think about it. I
hmm
just eat whatever's in front of me and my weight keeps going down, so I don't have to stress about that in this fight camp. I just have to focus on my training and my coach is doing his job, so I don't even have to really think about that. I just have to listen to him. So it takes all the guesswork out of it when I have a team like I have here.
And so this is your first camp with Extreme Couture, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What did you pick up out of that last fight? Because obviously it didn't go your way, but you had some great moments. You had a near armbar finish. There was a bit of a controversial stand up, I recall. You're doing a lot of work, and some people were upset that the referee stood you up in the first. But what did you take away from that fight going into this next one?
Like the main thing I took away was that I did not want to do another camp. Um, you know, I'm
Uh,
I'm just like my foot was really bugging me going into
mhm.
that fight, and after the fight I got an X-ray and my foot was broken. I'm pretty sure I think it was probably fractured going into the fight, and it was more than just fractured coming out of the fight. I couldn't put weight on it like as soon as the fight ended, once the adrenaline was kind of gone. So I was fighting like like 2 rounds or so with a broken foot, which made it hard for me to shoot. It made me hard to move around the way that I wanted to move around,
Mhm.
but also my headspace just wasn't there. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I just love it here. So it's just like it's going to be completely different because I'm looking forward to fighting rather than dreading fighting.
so you were fighting TalitaBernardo at UFC Moncton on October 27th. Give me your quick examination of her and her skill set.
I know she's a BJJ black belt, and it's not easy getting into the UFC. So I know she's talented and a hard worker. But I've been working so hard this camp, and I have such a great coach, and I got a game plan this time, which I've never really had before. And it's nice that I have just such a team with me right now. So I'm looking forward to it. I know she's good on the ground, but I know I'm good on the ground too.
hmm
So it's gonna be.
I can vouch for that, having very briefly shared the mats with you. Um, do you anticipate you'll be using your offensive jiu-jitsu as you have in the past. Obviously, you had that arm bar on Ashley Evans Smith. It seems to be your bread and butter, but do you think you might employ some of your wrestling, some of your striking more in this fight and keep the fight standing, or are you going to do what you normally do in there?
I have a coach and a game plan, so
You're not
I
going to
think
give
things will be
away?
a little different this fight.
Fair.
Yeah, I've been working on a lot of things, and I know my style has completely changed. So, we've fixed a lot of holes in my game, and we've also worked on stuff that I know is her go-tos, so that we're ready for it. Which I've never really done before, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, my coach is awesome. Dennis Davis, he's just the best. So, I feel really prepared for this
Yeah.
fight.
I,
Wherever it goes, I feel like I'm really prepared.
I haven't seen you smile this much ever.
I
So this is
know,
very
right?
refreshing.
Yeah, it's a nice change being here.
That's good. That's great to hear. Question for you. And I'm gonna get into some stuff, and I hope I'm gonna try and tackle this as delicately as possible. But I remember you did not always have the closest relationship with one Misha Tate, but now I'm seeing you photos of you on hikes with her, training with her. How's your relationship with Misha Tate developed?
Like, cause she's from the gym I'm at now.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really had issues with her. On
No,
top,
not.
it wasn't the greatest experience, but it was also like, we were younger then, and there was a lot of, like she was coaching, but she was also coaching one of her friends, so
Mm-hmm.
it put me in a weird position. But right now, that's not the situation we're in. Um, she's been super helpful with me being here, and she's like a great training partner. She's super friendly. She's always like moving here and not knowing anyone. She's been very nice and very like always inviting us to do stuff with her. So it's really nice. She's awesome.
And I imagine the dynamic's probably a little different now that she's not actively competing, right?
Yeah, I mean, like even if she was, it'd be I don't know, it'd be cool. Like, she was the champ, so she makes for a great training partner, even though
Mm-hmm.
she's not competing. She's still got that aggressiveness and that like determination and that I don't know, that drive. So she's a good training partner.
How nice is it for you to get two fights in 2018? Because you've obviously had a lot of trouble getting fights between your foot injuries and at best once a year. How nice is it to get two fights in 2018?
It's awesome. I'm training a lot smarter now, so I'm not getting injured the same way I was before. Before I was always getting pushed and forced to keep training when my body was under recovered. And here, a big focus is me being recovered for those training sessions
Mm-hmm.
and not pushing it when I'm not recovered. And it's really made it so that every day of training has been a great day rather than every day not being a great day. So, I've been able to put in a lot more work and I've been taking rest when I need rest. And it's just made me feel better physically and mentally. And I don't have those little nagging injuries or bigger injuries going into this fight.
What took you so long to make this move? Because it seems like there was a big tipping point for you.
Yeah, it was hard because Cleve and I have been together for a while, and his dad was really old,
Mm-hmm.
and we were taking care of him, and there wasn't really anyone else there to take care of him, so we were kind of stuck there in a way. He passed away shortly after my last fight, and it made it a lot easier for us to make this move.
Mm-hmm. Just to wrap up a couple questions here, I'm interested. This is you kind of had my ears perched when you talked about moving away from Toshido. What was it like to have Rory McDonald come back? He'd obviously been very dedicated with TriStar for a while after he left the UFC. He came back to Toshido. Did the vibe change at all once the star pupil was back in the building?
Um, Not really. All the attention was kind of on him, but it did kind of open up my eyes to training smarter because he wasn't in there training 3 hours a day
Mm-hmm.
every day, going full out sparring. He was going when his body was ready. He sparred when he felt like sparring. He didn't spar when he didn't feel like sparring. He took days off when he felt like he needed days off. and that really opened my eyes because like anyone else wasn't allowed to do that.
Yeah. How was Quintet? Because I saw you were in attendance for Quintet 3. I love it. I think that is the way to go when it comes to broadcasting grappling.
Oh,
How was your experience there?
it was like so cool. I mean, like Misha was commentating on it, so
Hmm.
she actually hooked us up with tickets, which is,
Great.
she's been really awesome to us and allowing us to do stuff that we wouldn't normally be able to do. And just yeah, so going there, it was so cool, and we were like right by where like half of the teams would walk out.
Yeah.
So you'd see them like, and they'd be kind of just pacing back and forth, and you'd see how they were like mentally getting ready for their fights, and it was a really cool experience just to even see that side of it because they're such high level people, and just seeing how they deal with the pressure leading up to the fight or match or whatever you call it. So it was really cool seeing that, but then also just seeing that high level of grappling, and like yeah, it was really cool.
Who blew your mind? Because there were obviously a few standout performances that night.
Oh yeah, Gordon
Gordon
Ryan, I
Ryan,
believe,
yeah.
really good, and fuck, I can't remember his name. He's actually been at the gym. It starts with like a M. He's from Poland, like Marcy.
Marcin Held, the
Yeah,
leg
yeah,
lock dude.
leg lock
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, he was like insane.
I was blown away by Mickey Ryan in that first match. 17-year-old
Yeah,
kid.
I know,
Man, like that is some serious training.
I
That is
know.
ridiculous.
I'm so jealous.
So yeah, well, you are a well-rounded fighter. You're not just a jujitsu person, so you don't have the same ability to train nonstop. But do you think I was actually talking to Keijan Johnson about this recently? Do you think obviously there's some degree of just natural talent there if you're 17 years old and you are submitting black belts who've been training for decades? Do you think those skills will translate well? Do you think people who have a natural acumen to one martial arts will pick up the other ones really well too?
I think it depends if they're passionate about it
Hmm.
or not. You know, like when you love something, then it's a lot easier to focus on it and get better at it. And like usually with martial arts, you generally have one that you love more than the rest.
Hmm.
So one will develop better than the rest. But, you know, like if he yeah, it all depends on the person, I think, too.
Do you have a Mystic Mac prediction on your fight coming up?
On my fight, I mean, I'm always hoping for a finish. That's, you know, I'm not one that likes to go to decisions, although I have in the past, and you know that's I like to try and finish my opponent. I like yeah, however it comes. That's always my goal going into a fight.
You got a. I'm just things are. I'm remembering things. You actually got a little bit of slack after that Ashley Evans Smith win, because you dislocated her elbow, and then in the moment you kind of bragged. And I don't even want to say you bragged about it, but you said good. That's why you do an arm bar is to break someone's arm. Did you get any flack for that, and how did you take it?
Yeah, yeah, I did a bit. You know, I thought it was funny because you say anything before a fight and it's all good, but you say
Mm-hmm.
that 15 minutes later or 3 minutes later or however long after the fight, and it's like all taboo. That's not martial artists and stuff like that. But you know, like I don't train traditional martial arts. I'm there to prove that I'm better than people, and I don't want my opponent having the reason to like any chance of saying I shouldn't have tapped
Yeah.
or it yeah, it wasn't on or anything like that. I want to prove that, you know, I want them to not have a rematch. I want to be the best, and I want to prove that I'm the best, and I want to do it like while being dominant.
Yeah.
So that's my style, you know, like, and it's not my fault that she didn't tap earlier.
Fair enough. Most important question for last. Now, obviously, you are a fan of cheesecake. I know you and I have shared a cheesecake or two. But is there anything better than the traditional cheesecake? How do you feel about the chocolate cheesecakes and the strawberry cheesecakes?
Chocolate's not really my thing, but my favorite's pumpkin cheesecake.
Pumpkin cheesecake?
It's so good, and
That's so weird.
it's so good. But
Yeah,
then
I'm in it.
I'm here right now, like, and like the U.S. has everything, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Canada doesn't have much. But they have like pumpkin cheesecake in the grocery store. Like at the Albertsons, they got pumpkin cheesecake here.
Good thing you're not handling your own diet now.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man. After the fight.
After the fight, some pumpkin cheesecake.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, my cheesecake party after the fight too.
Well,
So
it's growing. I imagine there's going to be more people at this cheesecake party than past cheesecake parties.
I feel that. I feel like I have like a whole team here, and everyone's like hoping for the best with me here. So it's really cool having that, like all the support. It's just every single person's been supportive, whether they're on the team or they're just training recreationally or they're the coaches. Just everyone's been so supportive, and at the PI they've been super supportive, and yeah, it's just awesome here.
That's good to hear. Sarah Morris, best of luck on your fight. Sarah fights at UFC Moncton on October 27th against TalitaBernardo. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.